Welcome into the Kansas City Chiefs Report. I'm your host, Harrison Graham. On today's show, we're going to take an early look at Chiefs' 53-man roster projection between now and training camp. Minicamp is in the book, so we'll kind of base this off of what we heard of what was happening during practice this offseason, and obviously things will change once training camp gets here. We'll do this video again. All right, we'll go from offense to defense here. Quarterbacks. I think the Chiefs might carry three. I'll stick with that for now. Patrick Mahomes, Chad Henne, and I'll stick with Shane Buechele as QB3 for now because I think if he gets cut, there's a decent chance he might get poached. Last season, I think week 10, 11, something like that, the Arizona Cardinals were ready to sign Buechele off the practice squad. That forced the Chiefs to activate him to the 53-man roster, which is where he stayed for the rest of the season. So if you want to keep Shane Buechele for sure, if you don't want to risk him getting poached, you got to carry him on the 53. So Mahomes, obviously the starter, Henne the backup for now. Buechele sticks around because I still think and wonder if Shane Buechele can be that long-term answer as QB2. Not sure if he's there yet, but I do think the Chiefs feel like that could be a possibility, and so do I. How many quarterbacks will the Chiefs keep on their active roster? 2 or 3? Pretty simple options there. They're obviously not going to keep 1 or 4. So 2 or 3, how many quarterbacks will stay on the 53? Let's go to the running back position. This is when it, got a little bit tricky, but for now, this is how I'll project it. Clyde Edwards-Helaire, Ronald Jones, Jerick McKinnon. I think barring something unforeseen, all three of those guys will make this team. We know the Chiefs are going to carry a fullback. That'll be Michael Burton. And then Isaiah Pacheco, the 7th rounder out of Rutgers, gets cut. I'll go ahead and put him on the practice squad, assuming he does not get picked up, which he could. You never know. There is a scenario where Pacheco could make the team, whether if the Chiefs decide to go heavy at running back with 4 or if maybe McKinnon was a surprise cut. But for now, I have him on the outside looking in. Let's go to the wide receiver position. This one was tough, too. I only went with 5 receivers. JuJu Smith-Schuster, Marquez Valdes-Scantling, Mecole Hardman, Sky Moore. I think those 4 guys are locks. I went with Justin Ross, but you could have gone Josh Gordon as well, or instead of Ross, you could also go Daurice Fountain. Who knows? Maybe Justin Watson, who's been drawing some praise, could sneak onto this team as well. The problem with Gordon is, unless he has a huge training camp, he doesn't provide special teams value. So is it worth keeping a guy as a number 5 or number 6 receiver if they're not going to play on special teams? How does he contribute? I don't know. I mean, I don't know if that makes sense. I think you could keep him on the practice squad if you want to, but maybe he signs with another team too. I think that could be a possibility as well. So I've got Gordon, Fountain, and Justin Watson on the outside looking in. Like I said, these top 4 guys, regardless of wide receiver 1 through 4, I think they're locks. And then I went ahead and put Justin Ross on the 53, but he could also be a practice squad candidate. There's certainly some different routes that the Chiefs could go. Who will lead the Chiefs in receiving? And you can't choose Travis Kelce. I'm talking about out of receivers here. Who will lead the Chiefs in receiving this year at the wide receiver position? Let me know down in the comments section. Speaking of Kelce and the tight ends, I went 4 here. So 5 receivers, a little light, one a little heavier at tight end because who are you cutting here? I mean, obviously Kelce's going to be on the team. Blake Bell, I think, is going to be on the team. Jody Fortson, Noah Gray. I think if you were to cut one, maybe it would be Blake Bell just because he's a little bit older and, we kind of know what he is at this point. Fortson and Gray still improving guys. I just don't see who you cut. Gray was a 4th or 5th round pick last year. Can't remember off the top of my head. He showed some things. Fortson was really starting to play well before he tore his Achilles. He's been getting back into the mix this offseason. I think they go 4 at tight end. I really, really do. They did last year. I think they'll do it again this year. Make sure you guys follow us over on Rumble. If you're watching on Rumble on today's show, well, click that follow button. Rumble.com/ChiefsTV. That's the link to go to if you're on YouTube. You can also download the Rumble app and find us that way as well. Really user-friendly app, so go check it out, rumble.com/ChiefsTV. All right, let's go to the offensive line here. 9 guys make it, plus I'll put Lucas Niang on the PUP list to start things out. Orlando Brown, Jr., Joe Thuney, Creed Humphrey, Trey Smith, Andrew Wiley. I think those will be your starters at least week 1. Darian Kennard, Jaron Christian, Nick Allegretti, Austin Ryder. Maybe he's on the bubble. It depends if the Chiefs want to keep a backup center. They cut Darrell Williams recently off the offensive line, so maybe Ryder is pretty safe to make the team. But then Lucas Niang, who's still recovering from a torn patellar tendon, I'll have him starting on the PUP list. So this is how the depth chart shakes out. I think Wiley would start at right tackle week 1, assuming Niang's not ready to go. I don't think they'll go with Darian Kennard at right tackle to start this season. Wiley's a seasoned vet, and then obviously Brown, Thuney, Humphrey, and Smith, surefire starters, with Christian, Allegretti, and Ryder being your other backups. 9 offensive linemen, but I do think that could be in flux. All right, let's go to the defensive side of the football now. The edge position: Frank Clark, George Karlaftis, Michael Dana, and Joshua Kando. You could have added a 5th guy here, but the Chiefs are pretty light at edge, man. They're pretty thin. I do think this is a position where they could go out and sign a vet to give you a 4th or 5th guy that they have some confidence in. I'll go just 4 at defensive end. We'll see how things shake out at training camp. If you love the Kansas City Chiefs, I hope you do, say yes, and subscribe, because we're publishing videos every single day here on this channel, youtube.com/ChiefsTV, the latest Chiefs news and rumors coming at you here on a daily basis. If you want full videos all off season long, this is the place for you. Go to defensive tackle now. Derek Nottie, Chris Jones, Tershawn Wharton. I think those 3 are locks. Kalen Saunders, I have him making it. I think he's on the bubble. Taylor Stallworth could be on the bubble, but he's been around in this league for a few years. I think he sneaks in there as well. You look at the overall defensive line here. I think Clark, Nottie, Jones, and Karlaftis are your starters. Wharton's going to rotate in a lot. We'll see about Stallworth and the rest of these guys, but I do think that there could be some mixing and matching here on the defensive line. Who will lead the Chiefs in sacks? Predict it for us down in the comment section. Who's going to lead the Chiefs in sacks this year? I'll say Chris Jones. Let me know if you think it's Jones or someone else. Let's go to linebackers now. I got 5 making it. Darius Harris is a notable cut, as he was on the active roster last year. Nick Bolton, Willie Gay Jr., Leo Chenal, they're all locks. I think Jermaine Carter's pretty safe. I think Elijah Lee will make it as well. We'll see. They could opt to keep Darius Harris instead, who has some special teams value. But for now, that's how things sit for me on this linebacker depth chart. Gay and Bolton going to be your 2 primary guys. We'll see how much Chenal plays as a rookie, and then Carter and Lee as your 2 backups. All right, 6 corners. I went really heavy at corner here. L'Jarius Sneed, Rashad Fenton, Trent McDuffie, they're all locks. I think Lonnie Johnson makes it after the Chiefs traded for him. DeAndre Baker, I think, is safe. We'll see. Joshua Williams, the draft pick out of Fayetteville State, I think he'll make this team as well. I have Jalen Watson getting cut, 7th-round rookie corner. I think he'll be on the practice squad. I think the Chiefs could go heavy here at corner. I really, really do. They've got some quality depth options with guys like Baker and Josh Williams as well. I think that will end up being the case. And, I think that Fenton, McDuffie, and Sneed should be a nice trio as that starting unit. We'll see if guys like Johnson or Baker can crack that starting lineup at some point. But I think depth-wise, cornerback is one of the deeper positions. Safety now. Okay, Justin Reed, the big free agent acquisition. He'll start on this defense, obviously. Juan Thornhill, who said he's going to be an All-Pro this year, so we'll see. Brian Cook, Dion Bush, quality backups. Cook, the rookie out of Cincinnati. Bush, a really good special teams guy, good backup safety. And then Nazeeh Johnson, who I think is on the roster bubble. I've got him sneaking on to the 53 as a 5th safety, special teams type of player. But I expect Reed to really play a big role. Hopefully Thornhill has his best year yet as well. If not, Brian Cook could be ready to go. Dion Bush can play in a pinch as well, so they've got some options in this secondary due the Kansas City Chiefs. All right, who will lead the Chiefs in interceptions now? Let me know down in the comments. How about Juan Thornhill? Bit of a curveball. Juan Thornhill leads the team in picks. Predict it for me down in the comments. All right, the specialist, pretty straightforward. Harrison Butker will be the kicker. Tommy Townsend will be the punter. And James Winchester will be the long snapper. No changes expected there. Got one, top 5 kicker, top 5 punter. long snapper that doesn't screw up, I think you're pretty good to go there. All right, that's my 53-man roster projection following minicamp. We'll do this again probably right as training camp gets going as well, so be on the lookout for that. And, of course, our other videos that we publish every single day, youtube.com/ChiefsTV. More videos to come. I'm Harrison Graham. We'll see you soon here on the Chiefs Report.